right, so now it's time to talk about our customary measurement conversions, but this time it's going to be multi-step conversions. Now, the good news is, for the most part, if you watched my one-step video, our steps are still going to be the same, where we set up the best friend table, we have the labels, we go to our star chart, we use what's known from the questions, and we use a scale factor. All of that stays the same. And in fact, you can see that I've already filled it in for us here. But the only difference is with these multi-step problems, we have to figure out what I am converting between and how many steps it's going to take me to get there. So again, when we talk about measurement conversions, all we're doing is we're taking one unit of measurement and we're converting it, or we're changing it to a different unit of measure that represents an equal amount. Now, the only difference here on what we have to do is we have to write out the steps that we are creating. So what I mean by that is, let's look at this first problem here where it says, how many inches are in 16 yards? Well, I'm going to do exactly like I did yesterday. I'm going to find what best friends I am trying to convert between. So I'm trying to convert between inches and yards. Now, normally you would go look at your star chart and try to find the conversion between inches and yards. But I only see inches to feet and yards to feet. I don't have anything that takes me directly from inches to yards. So this is what I mean by write out the step that I am creating. If I'm starting at inches, the only thing that I can convert inches directly to would be feet. But once I know how many feet I have, then I can take the feet and turn it into yards. So what I have to do here is I have to look at what is the information that they are giving me. What is known? So I see that I know that I have 16 yards, which means this is where I'm starting. So I'm going to have to work my way backwards. So my first conversion is going to be between yards and feet. I know that my star chart tells me that for every 1 yard, there are 3 feet. And in this problem, I have 16 yards. So my scale factor here to go from from 1 to 16 would be times 16. What I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. So 16 times 3 would give me 48 feet. So now I'm at this step right here. And now I have to convert these 48 feet into inches to get my final answer. So the next table that I'm creating is going to be comparing inches to feet. My star chart tells me that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. But I know that I have 48 feet here that I'm dealing with. So my scale factor would be times 48. What do I do to the bottom? I have to do to the top. So I'm going to come over here and do 48 times 12. So 8 times 2 would give me 16. Write the 6, carry the 1. 2 times 4 gives me 8, plus 1 more gives me 9. Think like a chicken. Scratch out what I don't need. Lay an egg. 8 times 1 is 8. 1 times 4 is 4, and let's add these together. So 6 plus 0, 6. 9 plus 8, 17. So write the 7, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5. So I get that there are 576 inches in 16 yards. All right, looking at our next one, how many gallons are in 20 cups? So again, the best friends I'm trying to get between are gallons and cups, but when I look at my table, I don't have a direct gallons to cups. So I know that they're giving me 20 cups. So I can start with cups, and I can go from cups to pints. I can go from pints to quarts, and then I can go from quarts to gallons. Okay, so I've got 3 different conversions that I'm doing here. So the first one I got to start with is cups to pints. So I'm going to put a C for cup, PT for pint. My star chart tells me that there are 2 cups in every 1 pint, and I know that I have 20 cups. So my scale factor here would be times 10. Whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. So I know right now that I have 10 pints from these 20 cups. So now I need to convert from pints to quarts. So PT for pints, QT for quarts. My star chart tells me that there are 2 pints in every 1 quart. I know from my previous conversion that I currently have 10 pints. So my scale factor, 2 to 10, would be times 5. What do I do to the top? I have to do to the bottom. So this will be 1 times 5 would give me 5 quarts. The very last conversion would be to get to gallons. So now I need to do quarts to gallons. So my star chart tells me that there are 4 quarts in every 1 gallon. I know that I currently have 5 quarts. So this time I'm going to use my within scale factor, and my within scale factor would be divided by 4. What I do on the left, I have to do to the right. So this would be 5 divided by 4. So 4 goes into 5 one time. I subtract and I get 1, and I'm going to leave it as a fraction because it actually saves me work. I know that I have 1 and 1/4 gallon. Our next one, how many fluid ounces are in 96 pints? The two things I am comparing, my best friends, are fluid ounces and pints. When I look at my star chart, the path that I am going to have to create to get there is going to have to be from fluid ounces to cups, and then from cups to pints. So they gave me the pints. This is where I'm starting. So my first conversion is going to be going from pints to cups. So my star chart tells me for every 1 pint, I have 2 cups. Well, I have 96 pints. So my scale factor is going to be times 96. What I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. So 96 times 2 is going to give me, I'm going to do it over here just to make sure. 6 times 2 is 12, carry the 1. 2 times 9 is 18, plus 1 more is 19. So I have 192 cups right now. But I still need to go from cups to fluid ounces. So that's going to be my next conversion. So cups to flaws. So my star chart tells me that for every 1 cup, I have 8 fluid ounces. But I know right now I have 192 cups. So my scale factor I'm going to go within is going to be times 8. And what I do to the left, I have to do on the right. So I need to do 192 times 8. 2 times 8 is going to give me 16. So write the 6, carry the 1. 8 times 9 is 72, plus 1 more is 73. So write the 3, carry the 7. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 7 more is 15. So I get 1,536 fluid ounces. All right, our next problem says that Miss Smith lives about 17 miles from DIS. What is this distance in feet? So I'm comparing miles to feet. And oh my goodness gracious, we're going to get a big number here. So I know, looking at my star chart, that I can go from miles to yards and from yards to feet. So I know from my first conversion, from miles to yards, that 1 mile contains 1,760 yards. But I live 17 miles from here. Oh, goodness gracious. So my scale factor is going to be times 17. What do I do to the top? I have to do to the bottom. I'm going to come over here so I have some more room. So 1,760 times 17. Here we go. 0 times 7 is 0. 6 times 7 is 42. So write the 2, carry the 4. 7 times 7 is 49. Plus 4 more would get me to 53. So write the 3, carry the 5. 1 times 7 is 7. Plus 5 more is 12. Think like a chicken. Cross out what I don't need and lay an egg. 0 times 1 is 0. 1 times 6, 6. 1 times 7, 7. 1 times 1, 1. So when I add this together, 0 plus 0 is 0. 2 plus 0 is 2. 3 plus 6 is 9. 2 plus 7 is 9. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I get right now that I have lived 29,920 yards from school. But I still need to turn that into feet. So my next conversion is going to be yards to feet. I know in 1 yard there's 3 feet, and I am currently dealing with 29,920 yards. So my scale factor here is going to be times 3. All right, I'm going to rewrite this again so I've got some more room. Goodness. Why do I live so many feet from school? All right, here we go. So 0 times 3 is 0. 2 times 3 is 6. 9 times 3 is 27. So write the 7, carry the 2. 9 times 3 is 27, but plus 2 more would be 29. So write the 9, carry the 2. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 2 more is 8. So I live 89,760 feet from DIS. That's a really long way. All right, our next one says a bag of candy contains 32 fluid ounces, and I want to know what is this capacity in pints. So my best friends that I'm comparing here are fluid ounces and pints. So according to my star chart, I can go from fluid ounces or flaws to cups, and then from cups to pints. So since I know the fluid ounces, this is where I'm going to start. So my flaws to cups, I know that there are 8 fluid ounces in 1 cup, and I'm currently dealing with 32 fluid ounces. So 8 to get to 32, my scale factor would be times 4. What I do on the top, I have to do on the bottom. So I currently have 4 cups. But now let's take those cups and let's turn them into pints. So my star chart tells me that there are 2 cups in 1 pint, and I currently have 4 cups. So my scale factor would be 2 times 2. What I do on the top, I have to do on the bottom. So 1 times 2 would give me 2 pints. All right, and our last one says the average height of a giraffe is 216 inches. What is this height in yards? So the best friends that I am comparing here are going to be inches and yards. When I look at my star chart, I see that I can go from inches to feet and from feet to yards. They give me the inches, so this is where I'm going to start. So I know that my star chart tells me for my inches to feet that there are 12 inches in 1 foot. I currently have 216 inches. So I need to go from within. So 12 divided by 12 would give me 1. So I need to do 216 divided by 12. I'm going to come over here to the side so I have some room. So 12 will go into 21 just one time. When I subtract, I end up with 9, and then I bring down the 6. And then I know, let's see, let's take some guesses here. I think it's times 8, but I'm going to double check. 16. Yep, there we go. So 12 times 8 will get me to 96. So I currently know that this is 18 feet. And then I need to take those 18 feet and turn them into yards. So my star chart tells me that there are 3 feet and 1 yard. To get this to 18 feet, my scale factor here would be times 6. What I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. So this giraffe is 6 yards tall.